Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine. Clink and drink.
Clink and drink.
Imaginary clink and drink. You have to drink when you clink. I was making sure. I'm your hostess with the mostest. God, it's really dark.
Well, we've gotten used to our fancy cameras and lights now that...
Well, I know we've had professional lights, and now I'm like, oh, we're really in the dark. This is the show. Hi, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Lola Stardust, and we have a special episode this evening. I really don't know what I'm talking about right now, and my boobs look huge right now. I mean, this is like, look at them. Oh! The boobs have come to take over the universe.
Godzilla boobs.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. I realized I'm live and recording.
And you haven't had that much wine.
A little bit. So before we talk about our topic tonight, I'm going to turn it over to our our wine connoisseur, Silent as Stardust. Why didn't you tell us about the wine tonight?
What do you need me to do?
You're such an ass. Tell us about the wine tonight, honey.
Well, I'd be happy to. Tonight, guys, we're drinking a bourbon barrel finished red blend. If you haven't tried these, this is the new hot thing in wine, especially Californian wine. What they're doing is they're finishing the wine in previous use bourbon barrels.
You gotta hold it up longer. That's what she said.
Previous use bourbon barrels, so it gives a slight sweetness on the finish, and it kicks up the alcohol quite a bit. This is the Federalist out of Mendocino County in California. Runs you about $25 a bottle. If you like really intense flavors, big dark cherry notes, and a really strong bourbon finish, then try this out. Even if you're not a fan of bourbon, you can enjoy this wine because it doesn't have the bourbon burn. It just has the bourbon flavor.
The bourbon burn.
So I'm going to go ahead and step out now, and we're going to allow our guest Willow to come in and talk about her special event this evening.
Thank you, sweetie. I love you.
Love you too. See you in a little while.
Mwah, smart ass. All right, help the crippled girl. She's got a dog here. Are you okay? You got it?
Yeah.
Willow! Oh, look at, she looks so tiny next to me. This is our Coven sister, Willow. It's been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
You've been in the background.
I've been in the background.
She's been in the background, but tonight is her night, and we are focusing and spotlighting all on you. Does that make you feel a little uncomfortable?
A little bit.
So tonight in our coven, we did what a lot of Wiccan covens do if they're elevating covens, and we've talked about the degrees and being in a coven. There's first, second, third degree, and I just thank you, honey. And I just learned about. I saw a post. Dusty is being archpriestess. It's a fourth degree. I did not know that.
Well, it makes sense when you're the head of a massive church.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You know, but we do 1, 2, and 3. So we got to elevate this beautiful woman up to second degree. Yay! Clink and drink to that shit. Woo! Woo! And drink. Good wine. Good choice, honey.
Yes.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit about I wanted. There's so many levels to why tonight was so special. One of the things. Oh, we got people making comments, and it disappeared.
There was words.
There were words. I'm sorry. They faded away. Whoever said something, thank you. So what makes tonight so special is, first of all, Willow and I were in our previous coven together, and she got her first degree. And then you have been a first degree for
a few years now.
A couple years?
A couple years now.
Has it been?
Yeah.
2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
Work has kept me.
Yeah. And she's been wanting this for a really long time. And you know, as from what I've been taught and what I'm trying to pass on in our coven as a tradition is, you get out what you put in, and if you want to elevate, there is work you have to do, but it's also about um, taking the initiative. And for second degree, she finally got the opportunity in our coven that we hived off. Now we're children of the crossroads. In case you didn't know, who's talking to us? Oh, hi, Adamu. Okay, thank you for joining us. I'll read your comments later. Sorry. So when she got into our coven, or when we hived off, and we were able to have a more one-on-one conversation, and you were able to focus and figure, okay, what do I need to do?
Yes.
And why, I want to ask you, why is second degree? Because sometimes people join a coven and they don't elevate, and whether it's by choice or time or effort, but sometimes they're just like, I'm happy just being where I'm at. What made second degree finally click for you? What clicked where you were like, okay, I get it, I want to do it, and what was it that made you want to do that?
It was a knowing. It's just, it's something internally that was telling me that I needed this for me, an inner recognition.
Yeah, yeah. So it's something that you felt deep inside that was like,
Yes.
it's time.
It was time.
Yeah.
And I personally, went through to get what I went through to get to it.
And I think that when we talk about you're exactly where you need to be at the time, and there's everyone's going to go about getting their degrees differently. When I got my degrees in our previous coven, I had a mission. I was on a mission to create Children of the Crossroads.
Yeah.
I didn't know the name of the coven yet, but I knew that I saw visions of our coven. I had visions of what we would do, so I knew that this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get it through this coven, and then I can go ahead and create something that's meaningful to myself and to others that I knew were going to follow me into that coven, into this coven. And there's no right or wrong of I did mine, in a way that was, boom, 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 boom. And some others are like, okay, yeah, they take their time, and that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Is, you know what I mean? And so to me, it was special for us to do this for you, because I feel like maybe you weren't ready previously, but you became ready with us.
Right. Other than, work does hamper a lot of stuff, work in retail. But I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I had a blockage to who I was, to who I am to become, or what I'm becoming now.
Yeah.
There was a blockage, and I had to work through it.
And because when you become first degree, it's kind of a born again kind of thing.
Yeah,
you're being
awakening.
born into, and you're saying, okay, I accept Wicca as my path.
Yes.
When you decide to move up to second degree, you are now ready to lead and start doing under supervision and guidance.
Right.
We're not going to just throw you out and say, okay, have fun, But there's also a lot of self-realization. I mean, we could do that if that's how you learn better.
There's one over here that
would. But second degree is about a lot of breaking through that self.
Yes.
And we saw it with you. And that's what made this so special tonight. Not only that, but also that this is our coven, Children of the Crossroads, which is still a very, very baby coven. This was our first second degree elevation to do. Now I only have one other third degree. I have a third degree, which is Morrigan, and then I have me, High Priestess, and then she was a first degree, and then we had two dedicants. My husband Silenus is a first degree now. So, in order to attend the second degree elevation, you have to be at least a second degree or higher. So, it was me and Morrigan. And so, it was kind of like how it
just
was.
as powerful, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
If there was more.
Yeah.
Well, when we did the third degree for me.
Yeah, it was just me and it was just me and her.
Yeah.
But
it was extremely powerful.
It was really powerful. And so, but this was our first as a coven to elevate you within that. And that is so exciting to elevate my children, my sisters and brothers of the craft. We're starting to establish ourselves and say, okay, here we go. Here's our coven. It's elevating you people. And so tonight was really special for that reason, because we got to elevate you as children of the crossroads, rather than doing what I did and doing in a previous coven and then coming over. So it makes our coven more powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we also, which I'm excited, we established a tradition tonight with the color of our cords. We came from a coven that was first degree. Dedekin is white,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how this works in others, but Dedekin cords are white, and people of the woods, and we've carried that. First degree is green, and I like that because it's green, it's new, and in our coven it is pan, so it's that playfulness, that, you know. And then in our other coven, second degree was red, and then third degree for the women is silver cord, and for the men is gold. And I'm keeping that, but we wanted to do something different for second degree, and so we use black, and that's for Hecate. And I got to wrap the black cord, the very first black cord. She got it, and that is a huge. It was really meaningful, and the black cord represents Hecate, but it also represents what we talked about in the ritual, which we don't want to go into too much detail. But now it's time where you get the nitty gritty, right?
Yes.
That dark.
Yes.
That darkness, and so after tonight, with everything that happened, how are you feeling right now?
I'm still energized. I mean, I just feel a power within, and it's heat building right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it wants to go.
It wants to set you on fire?
Kind of.
Kind
Yeah,
of. I mean,
kind of.
yeah, you're just controlling it so you don't burst into flames. So, what are the things about second degree that you're excited about to start doing as a second degree?
I think it's to help teach, because I have always been kind of shy or quiet.
Yeah.
I'm a little louder now. I mean,
You're energized. No. Oh, you mean now in general?
in general,
Yeah.
I'm still kind of laid back, watch what's going on, but
Yeah.
I think it's to help the teachings.
Yeah. And that's something that we really were looking forward to having you come into your own about, because we already recognized that in you, but we can't force you. And that's why the second degree took a little longer, because we want you to start to come into your own and realize that I do have something to offer.
Yeah.
You know, and all of us in the coven already saw that.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of information and a lot of knowledge. You are on a spiritual realm that is very different than what we may be used to, but that's okay, because that's what we're all about, is everyone adds something unique to the coven. And so, I mean, you add something very unique. You deal with, you're very familiar with the underworld. You're very familiar with that darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we practice as Wiccans, again, is the light and the dark.
And it's a struggle to stay to the light. That dark is very, very tempting.
So it's a struggle for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Because of the power that's in the dark.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And can you expand a little bit about that? Because I know there's a lot of, we have two viewers. Hi. Can you expand on that? Because I know there's a lot of people who practice witchcraft, and sometimes they feel this. Are you cold, honey?
Yeah.
Do you need me to turn the?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It just
That-
had the freeze blown up.
I know. Well, she was overheating and I'm
I
menopausal,
know.
so these two witches are hot.
You're
We're
hot.
hot, sweaty witches.
So hot.
So hot. That's so hot. So a lot of witches, and from when I go to blogs or whatever, they're like, I'm a dark witch and I feel bad, and it really depends on what you're following, because the Wiccan religion, we want to balance that, but there are other witches out there who are not Wiccan, who might focus more on the left-hand path or the dark path or whatever, and that's fine. That's
Right.
great. So, I know for you, it was about coming to terms with how that darkness within you was able to enlighten and make you more appreciative of the light. Because I think that you're a perfect example of that Wiccan balance, because or that struggle.
It's a struggle. I mean, there is, white witch, dark, but it's
Witch is a witch.
A witch is a witch.
witch, yeah. Is a witch.
to stay in that balance, and like they say all the time, there's that gray, because you work with the dark and you work with the light.
Gray,
But
is,
it's
gray is okay.
gray is okay, and it's your intent and the power of the dark. Why not hurt?
Yeah.
Because instead of to save your own self from being hurt first. And there's more to my story, but that's
Yeah.
different. But
Well,
and
yeah.
it's easier to hurt first.
Well, and you also are a dweller of the underworld. I
Yes.
mean, when we do travels to the underworld, you are one of the most. I mean, we're all pretty comfortable in the Wonderworld, but a Wonderworld, the
Wonderworld.
Wonderworld,
The underworld.
It's
the
a-
Underworld. But you
I
are
don't
like
think
you're.
I see the underworld in a total different.
Well, you're at home.
Yeah,
And-
that's home. It's not underworld.
Because like when we do our spring mysteries and stuff, and I don't want to give away too much, but if you haven't registered for spring mysteries yet and you want to,
And
who's
I
that?
can't go.
Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Adamu, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you for joining us. Spring mysteries talk. You get to do some stuff. Hi. So, there's a lot of underworld working, and we have all as a coven gone to the underworld together, whether it's at a festival or in circle, and she's actually had to pull me out of the underworld.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she had to pull me out. She's very comfortable there, and you're very psychopomp. I mean, I'm surprised you don't work more with Hecate or Hermes, because they're the psychopomps. Because they can go in and out of that underworld really easy without it even phasing them, and you're really good at that.
It's because I'm called. They call me.
Yeah,
Hecate calls me.
yeah,
To do some work.
Yeah.
I am not Willow when I'm down there. Total different look, total different name.
Yeah.
So to me, the underworld, I mean, it's like going to Pandora.
yeah, yeah.
And how it's lit up and how the plants are. I mean,
And-
it is.
and,
It's
It
beautiful
becomes
down.
alive
It's
instead of-
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a light that goes on behind your
vibrancy.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's very good at that, and I think that's why you can absorb people's energy. You're really good at you're a very good grounding, because a lot of times when people are having, like I said, you pimped me out at Spring Mysteries when people were having experiences, and they were having, without going into too much detail, but they were having very
I'm not a hugger, and they needed hugs.
yeah, she's not a hugger, so she pimped me out because she
Yes.
knows I'm a hugger, so she would point and goes, that person needs a hug. That person. And I'm like, hi, you don't know me, but I was told by the Oracle of the Underworld here that you need a hug, so but I think all of this and coming to terms with that, because you've always been to terms with that, but I think you've been at odds with it because you feel like you don't want to give it too much power or too much attention because you're afraid it's going to
Suck me in.
suck
Totally.
you in. Yeah. But do you feel that way? Are you starting to understand how to integrate that with your whole personality?
I have yes, I
Yeah.
do, because I have the control to do it.
Yeah.
Past lives I did not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it an
So-
awareness complex now?
Is it a what?
Being aware of before maybe you weren't aware in past lives? Of
I
your
would think
abilities?
so,
Yeah.
but different times.
I think you were aware of it in past lives, but the different times
Oh, awesome. I pronounced her name perfectly. Sorry.
called for different. There were different circumstances that.
it was more barbaric
Yeah.
times.
And
So
can someone do that for me so I'm not
Don't look at me. I don't know how to work those.
So I think this whole awareness and everything, I think that's really helped you also be ready to go to second degree. Don't you think so?
I think so.
Yeah. And that, because, we talk about you being so familiar with the underworld. I mean, if you look back on some of our previous episodes, we had one where the ghost hunting.
Yes.
And she is very much at ease with those spirits, that people who have passed, spirits that may not have our best interest. She's very calm. She's very collected about it.
I won't say it might scare the bejesus out of me, but I mean.
Oh, someone asked about transgender and being honored in Wicca. That is a really good question. We talk about that. Real quick, not to get too off topic, but Wicca is not about, man, woman. It's about projective and receptive energy. So if you want to message me more about that, we could do a whole conversation on that. So if you're not on our Facebook group, find us on Facebook. It's Children of the Crossroads, or you can email us at
CrossroadsCoven@gmail.com.
crossroadscoven@gmail.com, or find me on Facebook. And we'll go more into that, because that could be a whole nother show. So anyway, so after tonight, reaching your second degree, do you want to talk about some of the things that you're going to want to do? You were talking about something you want to do this summer, with the seeds and yeah.
This summer, because last year we had the Demeanor tour, the Love Tour.
The World Love Tour, ATC.
That was held up at my place.
That really kind of influenced you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like
It was a
to
big
do
stepping stone.
another one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was more or less, I was, told that this is something you need to do.
And who told you that?
Oh, it was, Athena hangs around with me a lot.
Athena's really hanging out. Yeah.
Athena hangs out a
Yeah.
lot. So she said that we just need to do this again.
Yeah.
So, and Artemis does hang out too.
And she has beautiful land. Anyone who attended the World Love Tour, we held it out at her property, and I mean, there couldn't be a better backdrop to talking about the earth and planting, and I mean, we live in Spokane, Washington, and Mount Spokane, you can see from her back.
It's her backyard.
It's her
My
backyard.
backyard.
It's pretty cool. So we're excited about that, having some sort of carrying on that message of planting, and she brought to our circle working with dragons and dragon magic, and can you talk a little bit about that? How long have you been doing that, and
Well,
what do you love
is-
about that?
This goes back into the past of what brought me to where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon magic, on the dark side.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, people, that you're commenting. We're using a phone right now. I'm having a hard time reading them. Usually we are using a tablet or a computer where I can see the comments. So I will look back at the comments and answer your questions. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So bringing that to the light, to the gray, we can also tip into the dark, but to stay to the moderate,
Yeah.
edge of that.
Yeah.
Because dragon magic is very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total different step because dragons are, they're number one. That's how they feel.
No. Well, no one's going to argue with
You
a
don't-
dragon.
So, they don't work with gods and goddesses. They
Mhm.
are the god and goddess.
They are the
They are.
epitome of the god and the goddess. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're,
and so,
they're cool with it. They're on understanding terms at my house
yeah.
between the two. The gods and
Yeah.
dragons. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's important, because I mean, and I don't work with dragons a lot, but we are looking forward. I'm hoping that you'll bring that. I'm not hoping. I'm telling you, as your high priestess, because now you got some responsibility. Bring some more dragon work. I'm really excited about that. And that's what's awesome is as you elevate in at least in our coven and from what we've been taught, you are given more. Bring your talents and your knowledge to the circle. And that's what we want to see, because we want to work with that energy. You're a part of our circle, so we want what makes you tick. Okay, dragons and ghosts and underworld and stuff like that. Bring it on, and I'm just happy as a pig and poo-poo to have, I know. I am just happy as a Lola with wine. Clink and drink. Clink and drink. And drink.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love my coven. All right, but no, I'm super excited and happy to get you elevated, because I know that you have it in you, and it was about you seeing that in yourself. And I feel that this was a very special night for us, because not only do we get to recognize you and say, hey, we have your back and we know you can do this, but it also established a new tradition for our coven. So, does anyone have anything to say or add to that? Because we are coming up on almost 30 minutes. So,
I'm saying it's exciting for us in the sense that with Lola and then the three of us, we're all the different initiate, or I guess the different degrees that the coven has got to experience as the maiden voyage
yeah,
on each one of
the
them.
maiden voyage. I like that.
Yeah, so we all got to be kind of the guinea pigs and help start the tradition of our degree elevations.
Yeah,
And we hadn't done the second degree, so it's nice to actually have someone ready to experience that, so that we can start building the tradition that we want to build. And we've done the work and we've seen the change in you. I've seen it just working with you in our coven,
yeah,
the change in you, and so it's congratulations on earning your second degree, not just being given.
No, we
Thank
don't
you.
give it.
Yeah.
You earn it.
Yeah.
Everyone
Put in
has
the
earned.
work.
Everyone has earned what they have to earn.
Yeah, there are degree
Yeah.
chasers that don't do the real work; they just want the title. And
Yeah.
then there's people that actually earn the degree.
Yeah,
It's our coven is a year and a day minimum on the elevation from degree to degree, but as in her case, it took you a couple years,
yeah.
and there is not right or wrong answer in that.
No.
It's got to be at your own pace.
Mhm.
We can't force you into
When
saying
you're on the path, you know when it's right.
you'll get it, and when
Yeah.
you see that it click, and it just goes, and and it's like, okay, and we saw that with you, and it made me a proud mama bear, because I'm like, okay, good, yes, she's getting that. It just will click. It'll make sense. And so, but again, we're still a baby coven, and we're learning as a coven. But that's what makes this so exciting. It is. What did you say? The
maiden voyage.
The maiden
Yeah.
voyage. Yeah.
This is our first tour of doing all this.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have hiccups and bumps along the way, but it allows us to smooth things out and learn.
Yeah. So tonight doing our second degree, I mean, it was great. It was wonderful.
That
You
was
know,
awesome.
we took on things from what we have been taught. We added our own. Who knows? Maybe by the next second degree, we might tweak it. We might change it. We might leave it the same.
Mhm.
You know, we don't know. But that's what's so wonderful is that there's this clean slate that's happening, and we're able to adjust and tweak and move a little bit or whatever, or sometimes it just works out the way it does. And that's what's so great about being in a coven and working with others and elevating and teaching. So if anyone out there has any questions about coven work and what it means to be in a coven and how we do the elevations or whatnot, please email us. And what is our email address, honey?
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
What was that again?
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
So, thank you for being with us. Congratulations, Willow! Yay! I am so...
Clink and drink that shit.
Clink and drink the shit out of that. Ching, 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 chim, chim, chim.
And thank you to our crowd for all the comments.
Mm-hmm.
We will get back to you. We're just on the wrong screens.
Yeah, we have it. We're using a phone right now, so remember, always be kind to one another. Walk with the goddess, and until next time, blessed be. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.